He thought the badge made him the smartest in the room until this happened.
ID on you?
No, I don't have any ID on me, no. What does it matter if I have an ID?
Because it's policy for us when we get out and speak with somebody, we identify who they are.
It's my policy not to identify myself unless I committed a crime, no.
Whenever we make contact with the public, we always get a name, date of birth.
I understand your policy completely.
Right. So that policy is, I'm going to ask you for your identification. So
yeah.
If you don't have it on you, I need to get your name, date of birth.
My policy is I don't identify myself unless you
then
suspected me.
I'm going to ask you to stop recording. I'm going to ask you to leave. And if you refuse to do that, then we'll take it up from the step from here. And
why would you stop me from recording?
Because there's no need for you to be out here.
You're saying that I cannot engage in my constitutionally protected activity? That's what you're saying?
Well, no, I'm asking you to leave.
But I have every right to be here, no?
Well, I have every right to ask you for your ID, but you don't give me that. So it's tit for tat.
But I haven't. It's not a tit for tat. That's not very professional of you. You need reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime that I'm committing or I'm about to commit in order to demand.
You just did by not giving me information that I asked for.
That's not true.
Okay, I know who he is. He's one of these.
Welcome back, everybody. As many of you guys know, I'm a law enforcement trainer instructor. I train and instruct military law enforcement all over the country of various law enforcement disciplines to include constitutional law, case law, patrol tactics, use of force, etc. And here in this video, I see something a little different. A lot of those that we look at in regards to, the stop and ID concepts, right? A lot of it is law enforcement just completely not knowing the case law and just completely trampling over people's rights. And this is a little different. I am getting some soft persuasion techniques. So one of the things I teach on the federal level, I'm a FLETC, critical communications and de-escalation instructor. And so in order to be that instructor, there's an instructor course, and it is very psychological. It's psychopathy deep, very deep in the psychology, very deep in persuasion skills using a science-based approach. And so one of the and I'm not going to go into all the details because the class is extremely long, but I'm getting some soft subtleties from this officer. It doesn't seem like he's attempting to bully him necessarily, but he's using some appeals to authority, and really he's using a persuasion technique that we commonly see in what's called the Cialdini's principles of persuasion. And so just a quick summary, there's 6 different types of persuasion techniques, and it looks like he is really using the call to authority, and he's using what's called a commitment consistency approach. And what that looks like for him is, hey, this is a policy, right? So he's now placating to a policy, right? So this isn't me, this is a policy, and this policy is that we like to identify ourselves, and we like to identify the people we're talking to because we want to make sure that we have the best customer service. We believe in transparency. We want to keep you safe. We want to keep everybody safe. And so this is just a policy of ours. So he's deflecting, right? He's saying, hey, this is a policy. I think it's a good policy. Here are all the reasons why the policy is good and why you should buy into this policy. And so I just want to get your name real quick. You don't have to give me your ID. You can just give me your name real quick. I'm going to write it down. I want to make sure things are documented, right? Transparency is important. Safety is important. And so these are some kind of techniques that FLETC and a lot of other law enforcement organizations out there are introducing into the law enforcement field, criminal justice field. And so I don't think it's a bad thing. I think learning to talk to people is good, but you also have to be it's good to know kind of what is going on and understanding that a lot of that comes with rapport building, etc. So again, this video is not meant to, teach you the persuasion techniques, but that's what I'm gathering from this. Because again, he's not being forceful in the way of I'm trying to detain you and take away your rights, but he's using these soft skills in order to try to get a commitment, right? And that commitment is important because the idea is if I can get you to commit to something, even if it's small, then I can get the ball rolling. If I can get you rolling in that direction, that's good. So if I have to do small subtleties of small different commitments to get you to commit to something big or to get you to go in the way I want you to, that's really good. And some of the best people at this, if we're being honest, are like car salesmen, right? Usually when you want to go to, you go to a car dealership, you want to buy a car, one of the biggest things that matters is going to be ultimately the price. What are you going to pay for this product before you leave? And so a lot of different sales techniques really depends on the commitment and consistency, right? So if we're talking about price and you see the sticker price and you're like, oh, well, we can definitely get you a better price. I mean, I have every, if you see a car and, if you're looking for a Jeep, for example, or you're looking for a truck, yeah, I like this truck, I like this Jeep. Price is more than I want to pay for it. I'd like to talk about that. Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I would absolutely expect you to want to work on the price. And there's definitely things that we can do. But before we talk about price, and before we waste our time talking price, I really want you to get you in the car. I really think a test drive, I want to make sure this is the car. I would hate for us to, talk about price and haggle over price, and then you test drive the vehicle and it's not the vehicle you want. So I highly encourage you, just first see if it's what you want. If it's not even what you want, we're wasting our time. If this isn't the vehicle, if it doesn't feel right, there's no reason to talk about price. So we can absolutely talk about price. We're going to talk about price, and I absolutely think that we can get you a low price. I already have some ideas, but let's just make sure this is the car for you. I'll go get the keys. So in that situation, right, what is that car salesman trying to do? They're trying to get you to commit, right? It's to a step, right? So we're going to step in the right direction, because the price is going to be the big overarching hill that we have to get over. So little concessions. If I get you in the car, if I sell you that experience, right, like this is my car, like you get in the car, it's harder to say no, and your price can adjust when you really like the vehicle, right? So again, it's the little wins, it's the little concessions, it's the little commitments that can get you to the big commitment. And so that's really the importance of sales, right? And so there absolutely is a way, and FLETC, the behavioral health unit there, for the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, they are looking at what's working in the real world, and they're incorporating that into a law enforcement setting. And so these courses exist. Again, I'm an instructor in that, and so I think the course is great. The course goes into a lot of different persuasion techniques. As an ICAC task force sergeant who is responsible for investigating and interviewing, in my opinion, horrible people, pedophiles. I think they're horrible people. Say what you want. I don't care. You're not going to change my mind. But being able to utilize these different persuasion skills in order to get to a final goal. Again, they are science-based, and they do work. So there you have it. But here in this, obviously, we know that the auditor in this is going to be Long Island Audit, and he's just a pro. He's a pro at what he does. He knows what he's doing, and these soft persuasion techniques, they're not going to work on a guy like that. They're not going to work on an ideologue who's there for a goal, mission, purpose. So take that for what it is. But hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully we're going to kind of start to see this. And I thought this was great. So as soon as I saw these techniques in place, I wanted to talk about them. But tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about these techniques. Do you think teaching officers these techniques is good? Do you think it's bad? I'd like to know what I'd like to know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If you like this content, please like, share, subscribe. As always, guys, long live the Republic.